Well, that's just not true, Mr. Speaker. In fact, according to their own numbers, families are getting about a third less than what the Prime Minister promised. The Liberals spent millions of dollars of taxpayers' dollars on a misleading campaign about the so-called rebate, while at the same time refusing to come clean on how high the carbon tax will actually go. Why won't the Prime Minister just admit his carbon tax scheme will do only one thing, and that's take more money from Canadians to fill his coffers?
8 out of 10 families are better off under our plan because they get more money in an incentive than they pay on a price on pollution. But it's interesting, Mr. Speaker, it has been more than 400 days, actually 407 days to be exact, that they promised to introduce a climate change plan, which they have not yet.
Well, this government sent out little leaflets promising tiny rebate checks just before the election to offset the cost of the carbon tax that would come largely after the election. But now we find out that those leaflets were not as advertised. In Ontario, for example, a family will receive a third less than the government promised in its taxpayer-funded advertising. The reality is, Mr. Speaker, Canadians will pay more and get ultimately nothing in return. Why won't they admit that the carbon tax is not as advertised?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Environment.
Contrary, Mr. Speaker, the climate action incentive is precisely as advertised. I've been telling the honourable member for months in this chamber that a typical family of 4 in the province that he represents will receive an incentive of $307. That remains the case today. The numbers he's citing are based on demographics that represent families smaller than a typical family of 4. This is not rocket science. It is simple arithmetic. If the honourable member would actually read our platform and our commitment, he would understand that I'm telling the truth.